Yo, what is going on? It is Jordan McLeod here, and for today's video, I titled it Dating App Text Game and Strategies That I Follow, revealing my Hinge messages. So I know you guys have been seeing some of my videos where I am revealing my messages from girls as far as just things that girls are saying to me, how they're responding to me as far as my pictures, them messaging me first, the things that they're saying when they message me first, etc. With that being said, I've gotten a few comments from you guys just asking me about how do I go about my text game, how do I go about setting up dates, etc. So I'm going to be showing you the exact text game that I follow, as well as just the overall dating app strategies that I follow for success when it comes to getting likes, matches, getting girls messaging me first, and then setting up dates with them. So before we hop into the video, if you want to become a man that women select, approach, and pursue, and you want to become the most handsome and attractive version of yourself without being born with superior male model genetics or anything like that, then I would highly suggest that you check out my Inbound Attraction Blueprint program. I'll have a link down below in the description. I am going to be increasing the price to it soon because I'm going to be adding a lot of course material to it. So it's literally going to be the cheapest price that it will ever be. So now would be the best time to hop in. I do have you guys inside my Notion board, and I have 6 different strategies that I followed that I'm going to be breaking down to you step by step. I'm going to give you the exact context and the reasonings as to why I implement these 6 strategies when it comes to getting attractive women to not only like and match with me, but message me first and get dates on autopilot. So if that's something that you would love to learn how to implement in your own dating strategy, then be sure to stay throughout the entire video because you want to make sure that you have all 6 strategies in place when it comes to having success on dating apps. Because if you're missing either one of these strategies, you're not going to see as much success when it comes to getting beautiful, attractive women to want to go on dates with you. So let's go ahead. Let's dive into the first strategy. So the first strategy that I follow is that I don't send likes out to women. I operate at a high volume in terms of likes and matches. I get a lot of girls that send their likes to me, so I don't necessarily have to send out a bunch of likes to women. Now, the more you become handsome, the more you actually self-improve and you looks max and you take great pictures and you optimize your dating profile, this will be the same reality for yourself. So you just got to build yourself up to that point, but this is a possible reality for you. Now, the reason why I also don't do this is because it's just time and energy conservative. I don't have to spend all day on the apps. I can focus on my business. I can focus on martial arts, lifting weights, self-improvement. I can focus on different aspects of my life, going out on dates and stuff. There's so many more things that I can spend my time doing instead of constantly swiping on dating apps all the time. So from a time and energy perspective and just overall being more productive, if I'm not constantly on the app sending out likes, then obviously that's going to be good for me. And I also believe that this helps your ELO score. So your ELO score is just your overall score of how attractive your profile is. Yes, aesthetically, but also the amount of likes that you get from women. It's going to keep you in a more of a healthy stand as far as your overall ELO score. And your ELO score is going to really determine your success with dating apps. And I believe the reason why this is going to keep your ELO score healthy is because you're not constantly sending likes out to women that aren't sending likes back to you. I look at this as having a negative KD. So people that used to play Call of Duty, right? Or maybe you still play Call of Duty, how it was frowned upon for you to have a negative KD ratio, which mine was terrible when I first started playing Black Ops 1. But that's how I look at it. Like the more positive your ratio is, the better your dating profile is going to perform. Now, the only time I will send out likes to women is if I'm shadow banned, which I've been shadow banned quite a bit, especially because when I really didn't know much about dating apps when I first got started with dating apps, I've restarted my profile so many different times, which that's a big no-no. So that's shadow banned me, but then I'll quickly get matches back like that, and it will be with high quality women too. So that's really the only time I'll send likes out. And this is just an example. This was actually when I first downloaded Tinder. I know we're primarily talking about Hinge, and the reason why I talk about Hinge a lot is that I think Hinge is the best dating app. It seems like the women on Bumble aren't that serious to meet up. That's just personally me. Tinder, you're going to more so get a lot more meetups. You can get a lot more hookups too. Just going to keep it a stack with you. But I believe the quality of attractiveness is a lot lower in comparison to something like Hinge. I think Hinge has the best of both worlds with Bumble and Tinder. Like Bumble, you're going to see more quality women, but I don't know. There's just something about Bumble, man. It seems like a lot of people have a problem with Bumble. I don't think a lot of people see success with Bumble, but Hinge just seems like there's just more high quality women. They're more attractive. They're more willing to meet up. Not as much as someone from Tinder, let's say, but there's still going to be more attractive women who will be more likely to meet up. So I believe that Hinge overall is the best dating app collectively, but I did want to include this screenshot where I did download Tinder for the first time ever, and I believe I received 86 likes within the first 24 hours of me made downloading this app. And this was back in October 2020. So almost 4 years later, this would be a lot different because I've improved myself. I've looked myself quite a bit since then. So I'm pretty confident that the results would be even higher than this. But this is just an example of me receiving likes from women on Tinder and then all of these matches and likes that I've gotten from Hinge. So that's this first strategy, is I don't send likes out to women unless I'm shadow banned and I have to. And I am working my way around not being shadow banned anymore. I am gonna have to do a hard reset when it comes to my Hinge profile, but that's really the only time I will send likes out. I understand that certain men that are watching this right now, maybe your looks aren't where they need to be yet, keyword yet, to be able to operate at this high volume of likes and matches as far as receiving likes from women, aka inbound game. But as you work your way up, as you level up your looks, you self-improve, you optimize your dating profile, you will be able to get these type of results as well. It's just a matter of time. So don't be hard on yourself. Just understand that this is a possibility for you. So strategy 2, I run 90% inbound game and 10% outbound game. And honestly, I really run closer to 100% inbound game, but I will have times where I will do outbound game. So inbound game is just simply when women message me first, right? So I primarily only interact with women that message me first 90% of the time, just due to the high volume of likes and matches that I receive. And I will outbound women from time to time if they're highly attractive and we've obviously matched, and especially if they've liked my photo, let's say, but they haven't sent the message out. Maybe after a week or so of us matching, I will send an outbound message if I find them highly attractive. But from my experience, inbound leads, aka women that message you first, they're primarily going to have mid to high interest in you. When they message you first, they will more than likely validate you, meaning they'll compliment you. They'll say something nice about your looks or your profile. They'll give you some type of indication that they find you attractive and that there is interest there coming from their end. And they're going to be a lot more easygoing, willing to meet up, and are a lot less likely to flake. And just overall, you're going to have minimal headaches and stress when you're going on dates, you're interacting with women that come to you, because if they're coming to you by messaging you first and they're validating you in their first message, that says a lot, because you have to remember that women, it doesn't matter how attractive they are, they have so many options of men in their inbox blowing up their dating app that if they skip all those men to go out of their way to message you and validate you in the first message, there is a high level of attraction there. So just keep that in mind. That's not something to look over. And then when it comes to outbound leads, right, women that I would message, from what I've seen or just in general, there's going to be a lot more lower to mid interest women. And both of these aren't set in stone, hard and fast rules, but for the majority of the time, by and large, these are the type of results that you're going to expect with these type of leads. As I look at it, these are the type of results that you're going to expect from these type of leads, right? But in my opinion, it's always best to go for high interest women because you're just going to have the easiest time with them. And with outbound leads in particular, they're going to be a lot harder to get off the app. They're going to be a lot more resistant to wanting to meet up, or they're going to take a while to get back to you. It's going to feel like the conversation is just going in circles and it's not going anywhere. And especially if you don't know how to transition off the app, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, if you don't know how to set up the date, if the conversations are going in circular motions and you're talking to a woman that has mid to low interest in you, the conversation is going to go cold. And obviously that's an opportunity that you lost from being able to set up the date. So there's that. So here is just an example of an inbound lead. So this is a girl whose photo I liked. So this was around the time when I was shadow banned. So I had to send likes out, but I liked her photo and she messaged me back. She said, "Holy, could you be any hotter? OMG, I've been on this app for 2 weeks and you are by far the hottest guy I've seen." And what's interesting is because I liked this girl's photo, yet she messaged me first, whereas this girl liked my photo. We matched on November 4th and then I didn't message her until 8 days later. And all I said was, "I think I found my new Spanish tutor." And then she said, "Yo te puedo ayudar," which means I can help you in Spanish. So I thought that was interesting how I liked this girl's photo, but yet she messaged me first, whereas this girl liked my photo, but I had to send her an outbound message. So this is just an example of inbound right here. And then this is an example of outbound. I know results are going to vary depending on the man, but in my opinion, it's best to optimize your dating strategy to receive as many high volume inbound leads as you possibly can, because your dating life is just going to be a lot easier. You're going to deal with a lot less headache, a lot less stress. less, a lot less flakiness, and you're just going to interact with women that have higher interest in you, more genuine burning desire in you, and the dates are going to be a lot more fun, a lot more easygoing, and you're just going to have a more thriving dating life, man. So that was strategy number 2. Moving on to strategy number 3. So I don't validate women unless they have already validated me. That's just my rule. Some people are going to think that's toxic. Some people are going to think that's however you want to perceive that, but this is just the rule that I follow. And here's the thing, I actually like giving genuine compliments. I'm a very analytical person. I do pay attention to detail, and I notice little details and nuances of women, right? Whether they change their hair, maybe they're losing some weight, whatever, or maybe they tried on some new makeup, whatever the case is, I pick up on those little nuances and details. And if I genuinely like a certain trait of a woman or a quality, I want to give a genuine compliment and highlight that and recognize that. That's just personally me. However, the reason why I don't validate women unless they validate me is because 99% of men are already validating women within their first message, and it's usually tied up in a corny pickup line that the guy is trying to drop on the girl, and the girl's not going to be giving him any type of time of the day. So this is just a way for me to stand out from the 99% of men that are doing that by not validating the woman or complimenting her until she compliments me. If she compliments me, that's when I'll give a compliment back. And if a woman not only messages you first, but she's giving you a compliment in her first message, I talked about this a little bit ago, but just take that as a really good sign that she does have high interest in you. And you giving a compliment to a woman isn't simping. It's simping when you're giving a compliment to a woman and she's not giving you a compliment, and you're constantly doing that and she's never reciprocating. That is a form of simping. But I believe that if a girl compliments you, if she validates you and you give a compliment back, that's an equal exchange of value. So just to give you an example, so this girl right here, I liked her photo. And again, if you see me liking photos, it's because I'm shadow banned. So this is really my way of working against the resistance of the shadow ban, but I'm obviously still getting matches and getting girls to message me first, which clearly shows that it's not because women don't find me attractive. It's just because the freaking Hinge shadow ban is trying to screw your boy up. But she said, I don't usually throw around compliments, but you are very good looking. So boom, message me first, and then is already complimenting me. And then I respond back with my own compliment. And I said, I appreciate that. You look like you throw around weights instead. You're pretty fit. So I'm being a little bit lighthearted. You know how she says she doesn't throw around compliments. I'm like, yeah, it looks like you throw around weights because you look pretty fit. So even though I'm complimenting her on her body, I'm more so complimenting on the fact that she works out. I'm more so complimenting on the positive habit, the positive trait, the activity that she's involved in. It has to do with her body, but I'm more so focused on the habit. And then she said, haha, you're right about that. I do enjoy my time in the gym. I'm assuming you do too. So that is just an example of when a girl compliments me and then I'll give a compliment back. So that was strategy number 3. Let's move on to strategy number 4. So strategy number 4, and this is where you guys really want to pay attention to. And by the way, everything that I'm going over in this video, even though most of the messages that you're seeing are from Hinge, this can be applied to any dating app, Tinder, Bumble, doesn't matter. Everything that I'm teaching you in regards to these strategies and the frameworks that I follow are applicable for any and all dating apps. But when it comes to the conversation, I try to keep the conversation short and brief with the goal of transitioning off the app within 5 to 10 messages. So for me, what I personally like to do is I try to keep my text messages brief. Like I said, I want to keep emojis to a minimal if I use them at all. And I want to match the ratio of the messages that the girl is sending me. So I do a 2-for-1 ratio. So let's say a girl messages me 2 messages, I'll send her 1 back. Let's say that she sends me 3 messages, I'll send her 2 back. Right? So I'm always doing 1 less message than what she's sending me. And this isn't as important when she has high levels of interest in you. When the woman finds you physically attractive and she has high levels of interest in you, this isn't something that you have to do perfectly, but it just helps, right? From there, I prefer to build rapport with the woman and I find a way to quickly set up the date. We'll just go back and forth a little bit. I'll try to find a way to bring up something about her profile that we can both talk about. And I'm always trying to find ways to transition off the app and set up the date. So the first thing I like to do is I like to go for a soft close or a tie down. And this is basically when you get an agreement that the woman would be down to meet up with you. So you throw out the idea of you guys possibly, keyword possibly, or potentially, keyword potentially, or maybe, keyword maybe, you guys should meet up sometime for a drink or for a quick bite to eat or a workout, whatever the case is. The soft close is when you throw out an idea of you guys getting together and she agrees to that. You don't want to try to go for a hard close like, hey, text me, let's set up a date and stuff like that. Don't do that before you get the soft close because you're going to turn her off, you're going to come off needy, and you're more than likely going to kill off the conversation and the opportunity to set up a date. So go for the soft close by bringing up the idea of you guys getting together sometime. Get her to agree with that idea and that she would want to see you and that she would be open to into that. And then you want to go for the hard close. And then the hard close is simply just, at least how I go about it is like, okay, once she gives me the soft close, like, yes, I would be down to go out with you sometime. That's when I would make the hard close of her texting me personally so that I can get her off the app. And then we can set up the date and the logistics through text message. That's how I personally do it. And then we can go about scheduling the date. Now, when I get them to text me, this is just my personal strategy when it comes to building comfort and building more rapport, is that before we set up the date officially, I like to go for a FaceTime call to build more comfort, to build more security with the woman. Like, I've had women that were like, I want to FaceTime you first before we go on a date. And we would FaceTime and they'd be like, oh my God, you are real. So I always go for the FaceTime call for that. And again, to build a rapport, security, etc. And then at that point, when you do that, you're building more investment on her end because she's spending time FaceTiming you, talking to you. So at this point, she's going to be a lot more likely to go on a date with you and not flake, because now a connection has been built and you're no longer a dude on a dating app, but now you're an actual person. I go from being Jordan on Hinge to Jordan, the person that I had a conversation with over FaceTime. So just to give you guys an example of what I'm talking about and how I'm quickly trying to get the girl off the dating app, is that you have this girl right here. She liked my photo and then she messaged me and said, what about brunettes with blue eyes? And she's just responding to a prompt that I had on my profile. And then I said, all right, here, I can make an exception if you have a nice personality and you can teach me how to handstand. The handstand part, she had a video or a picture of her doing a handstand. So that's what I was referring to. And then, just being a little bit playful and lighthearted, I said, I can make an exception if you have a nice personality. And the reason why I'm bringing up the nice personality is because the nice personality has nothing to do with what her physical traits, which is what most men are going to comment on and drop pickup lines that are corny about her physical appearance and stuff like that. I'm talking about something that has nothing to do with her physical attributes, and it's about her internal traits, like her personality, right? But what I'm also doing is that I'm future pacing the date by bringing up the personality. I'll show you what I mean. So she responds and says, thank God, I promise I'm nice and can teach. How am I supposed to know that without seeing you in person? AKA, now let's logically set up a date because you said that you're nice and you can teach. The only way to find out is in person. Again, a date. I said, let's get oat milk latte soon and I can know for sure in person. I think on her profile, she said, I know the best spot for oat milk lattes. I think that was one of her prompts. And then she said, sounds right up my alley, with the kissing emoji. And I said, text me and we can make it happen. Dropped her my number and then she texted me. Then another example, this was some of these examples are going to be a lot more quick than that one. But with this girl, I liked her photo. We matched. She says, sir, you are gorgeous. So message me first, complimenting me. Then she said, should we just get married? And then I said, duh, I thought you were supposed to take me ring shopping this week. She said, perfect. I'm free tomorrow. Winky face. I said, perfect. Text me and I'll send you a pic of the ring that I've been looking at. Dropped her my number. And then she texted me. She said, okay, show me those rings. And then right here, this girl in my prompt, it says a special talent of mine. And it was just a voice note of me speaking Spanish. It was just a way to be a little bit more seductive, give them a little bit sense of who I am in terms of hearing my voice, displaying a skill set that I have as far as knowing another language and being able to speak another language. And Spanish is a love language, so there's some seduction going on here. So she messaged me first in response to my prompt. I said, I meant to say, I got you. Let's do our first Spanish lesson over drinks. So you see how I'm already going for the date. So I'm leveraging what she's saying right here as far as teach me. And then I'm using that as a segue to set up a date and meet up in person. She said, let's do it. Said, sounds good. Text me, dropped my number. And then she did the salute emoji with the heart hand emoji. So that's just an example of how brief and how quick you can get the girl off the app and have her text you. So then you can set up the date from there. All right. So that was strategy number 4. Let's move on to strategy number 5. So strategy number 5, and I know a lot of dudes are messing up on this, so definitely pay close attention, but you want to set up the date. And then once you set up the date, don't text in between the days of the scheduled dates. For example, let's say that a girl texts you on Tuesday and you guys set a date up for Friday, right? Which I wouldn't recommend that you set a date out for no more than 2 to 3 days from the time that you guys are texting to set up the date. So try not to schedule out the date too far in advance, because the farther you schedule it out, the more cold she can be. She can go from being really interested in seeing you and then something comes up, she's not feeling good, whatever, and then she can possibly flake on you. So the shorter you can schedule the date closer to the time that you guys are messaging and setting up the date, the better, if that makes sense. Don't text her back and forth that Wednesday, that Thursday, Thursday leading up to the date, because you can kill the mystery, number one. You want to save all the dialogue in person so you guys have a lot of stuff to talk about on the date, so that the date is flowing effortlessly and that you both have a good time, which is going to increase the chances of her wanting to see you again. If you're texting back and forth between the date, this is increasing your risk of saying the wrong thing that can kill the attraction, that can make you come off needy. Now the girl doesn't want to see you. Now she has a random reason as to why she can't make the date, even though she told you that she was looking forward to the date, that she's excited to see you, etc. You can mess up your chances of actually seeing her. So what you want to do instead is that you want to be direct, you want to be a leader, you want to be masculine, and set up the date, set up the logistics. You give the time, you give the day for when you guys are going to meet up. Women will like this, they will appreciate this. Most women will. And don't reach out to her until you get closer to the day of the date. Just to give you an example, this girl, she messaged me, she said, hey, would you want to get drinks this week? At this point when she texted me a couple weeks after we originally matched on Hinge. Now, when we originally matched on Hinge, this was around the Thanksgiving time, and she was actually going out of state for Thanksgiving to visit her family. I got her to text me, I got her off the app, but then she told me that she was going to be gone for a couple weeks for Thanksgiving. So I told her this, I said, okay, cool, no problem. Reach out to me when you get back in Indy after Thanksgiving, and then we can set up a date from there. Why did I do that? Why didn't I just text her for those next 2 weeks? Because I would have killed the mystery, and I more than likely could have lowered the attraction if I said the wrong thing. And that's when she messaged me and said, hey, would you want to get drinks this week? Which is a really good sign that the fact that I told her to reach out to me when she got back in Indy, which was 2 weeks from the time that we originally matched and when she originally messaged me, the fact that she messaged me 2 weeks later indicated to me that she had high levels of interest. So that's when she messaged me this. And I said, hey there, name. Yes. What's your availability like this week/weekend? She said, I'm free Thursday and Friday night and most of Sunday this week. I said, Friday night should work. What part of Indy are you in? She said, I'm downtown. What about you? I said, I'm in the blank area, but I'm cool with going downtown. Would you want to meet up at blank at this time? And I was cool with going downtown because it was a change of pace just to switch things up for me. And then she said, that sounds great to me. I said, awesome. I'll reach out to you Friday and we will go from there. I hope you have a great day. Thank you. You have a great day as well. And this particular girl, she told me when we were on the date, thought I was going to be like a jerk or mean because I wasn't trying to talk to her a whole bunch in between setting up the date. And I've gotten that a couple of times, and it seems like even though they'll think that, if they have high levels of interest in you, they'll still want to see you. And I get it. They're assuming that you're going to be a jerk because they're just going off of the interaction that you guys have had, or the little interaction that you guys have had leading up to the point of the date. So I understand that. But if a girl brings that up to you, or if she says like, do you not want to talk until then, or do you not want to talk with me until we go on a date, you can just let her know, I would love to, but I just have a lot going on with my job. I have a lot going on with my business. I have a lot going on with school, and I would love to save our conversations for in person. So I'll reach out closer to XYZ day and we'll go from there. XYZ day being the day that you're going to reconfirm with her that you guys are still going on a date with each other. So that was strategy number 5. Let's go on to the last strategy, which is strategy number 6. So strategy number 6, follow up the day before or the morning of the day of the date to confirm that you and the woman are still on schedule to see each other, right? So you want to be sure you follow up and confirm that you and the woman are still on schedule and that you guys are both in agreement to meet up with each other on the said day and time that you guys both agreed on. And this will confirm to her that you are still looking to meet up with her, because some girls are going to take it that, okay, if he hasn't been talking to me all this week, maybe he's not interested in me, maybe he doesn't want to see me, maybe something popped up, and then they'll make other plans thinking that you didn't want to see her and that you were going to flake on her because you weren't texting with her back and forth. So what I would suggest that you do is you want to either text her the day before you guys meet up. That's honestly the best thing to do, or text her the morning of. I have a little prompt that you can use, is you can just say, hey name, I hope you're having a good day so far. I'll text you tomorrow when I'm on my way to insert the date spot at insert the specific time that you guys agreed to meet up with each other. So just to give you a conversation example, this was with the same example I showed you in strategy number 5, as far as this is the same conversation with that same girl. I said, good morning name, I'll let you know when I'm on my way to XYZ dating spot at XYZ time. See you tonight at 8 p.m. So in my opinion, I don't think you should message the girl and say something like, hey name, just wanted to text and see if we were still on for tacos at 7 p.m. at whatever. It just comes off needy. I think this way is a little bit more masculine. You're just not coming off needy. You're coming off more masculine and more direct and as a leader. That's why I like this approach. So indicating to her that I am planning on seeing her, that we are still good for the date. And she said, hey, good morning, Jordan. Sounds good. I look forward to it. I said, hey there, going to be heading that way here in a bit. She said, hey, let me know when you're on your way. Let me know in an ETA when you leave so I can plan accordingly. And I said, should be 8 p.m. or 8:05. I sent this as I was walking. I said, about to walk there, should be there in a few minutes. And then she said, I'm inside at a seat by the bar, brown dress. So that was strategy 6. And this is how I go about my text game when it comes to dating apps, whether this is Hinge, Tinder, Bumble, etc. So if you guys want to learn how you can implement the exact strategies and frameworks that I follow in my personal dating life so that you too can have a thriving dating life, then I would highly suggest that you check out my program, the Inbound Attraction Blueprint. I'll have a link down below. Again, now is the best time to hop in because it's going to be at its lowest price that it will ever be. As soon as I upload more course material, I am going to be uploading my exact workout routine so that you can be the most handsome, attractive version of yourself. In addition to all of the looks maxing protocols and frameworks that I teach inside the program, as I upload more course material, since I'm building up the value of the program, the price will go up. And I have 2 more spots for people to receive their free 30-minute to 45-minute one-to-one coaching call with me. So for the next 2 people that enroll inside the program, you will get a free one-to-one coaching call with me. Once you do enroll, just message me at McLeodMaxing on Instagram. Message me the word bonus, and then I will send you a link to book your free one-to-one coaching call with me. So that being said, if you got a lot of value from this video, please give it a like, subscribe for more videos like this. And with that being said, I will see you in the next one, man. Take it easy.